Much of human inquiry today is focused on collecting massive quantities of data with the assumption that more data leads to more insight into how to solve the challenges that face humanity. What's flawed with this assumption?
So data helps, but unless you have assumptions that you validate, you'll never get enough data in order to describe any highly complex system, because the amount of data you would need is combinatorial. It means you have to describe all of the different states of the possible states of the system and how they behave. So you can't do that, right? You can't, there's no way to get enough data because it's huge amounts of data. So even when people do machine learning and so on, they're making a statistical assumptions. And so we're really limited to, the data that we can collect about a system. And when you have dependencies in the system, there's no way to get enough data in order to describe all of the possible dependencies. So you need a framework that will enable you to find out what are the right dimensions. And again, going back to what we talked about before, that's what renormalization group, I didn't mention the name, Ken Wilson developed the theory and the mathematics of renormalization group, which is a fundamental strategy that enables you to identify variables and then do validation of them in this way. But without that, it's like the dimensionality of the system and the amount of data that you need is so large. It's like, imagine that you were trying to describe all the cars in a city. And now, the simulations have been done, but what you do is someplace you put a pothole, and the pothole is going to create this huge traffic jam that's going to affect much of the city. And you didn't even include the pothole in your model, right? So understanding the nature of the dimensionality of the problem is the beginning of any analysis that will give you insight into the behavior of the system.